And this is where the journey begins. 5 years ago, deadlifts are life. But soon after that clip, I would tear my meniscus. So what do I do now? How about learn a handstand? So I started hucking my legs over my hands. And not much good came of it. I started realizing, okay, I need a plan of attack here. So I started to research and talk to friends who could handstand. I found out there's a whole wide world out there. I need more open shoulders. I need stronger connection to my core muscles. I need to work on my balance. And I need to spend a lot of time against a wall. So naturally, after putting some quality work in, I started to get floats on my hands more and more. My life quickly changed to handstands are life, and I spent at least every other day at the gym or in parks kicking my legs up over my shoulders. Around the same time, I started to become interested in capoeira and animal style movement. I went from never touching the floor to being on my hands a whole bunch. I started becoming obsessed with longer handstands, straighter, more stable, doing different shapes with the legs. I wanted to be able to do some cool strength movements out of a handstand, like the press handstand and handstand push-up. Those became big long-term goals because I was quite far away from achieving them in the beginning. Everything in this handstand journey was very humbling, especially in the beginning. I mean, I had been lifting weights and going to the gym for almost 10 years at this point, but controlling my body weight was such a different story. And most of the time, I felt like a baby deer being born. I also started to take a big interest in the dynamic nature of handstands, like entering into a handstand from a cartwheel or a macaco, and the mini acrobatic type movements that you see a lot in capoeira. There's something about these movements that make me feel so good. It's almost like I shouldn't be able to do this, but somehow I can. These days, if I'm not careful, I can take my handstand for granted a bit. But when I watch these clips, I remember all of the hours of struggling to hold my handstand against the wall and fighting to just try to take breaths and hold myself upside down and, trying to focus on squeezing everything and most of the time failing. But something kept me coming back. And what was that kept me coming back for more, even when I was failing a bunch? I really think that it was just the incremental progress, just seeing myself get a little bit better every week if I put the work in. And when enough time was put in, I started to surprise myself. Wow, I'm actually getting pretty good at holding handstands. Gosh, the young kid Josh would be amazed that I can do this, and that feels super good. What the handstand has also shown me is that I can learn anything. Before I decided to take this handstand journey, in my head, I literally thought that there were some people that could do handstands and some people that could not. I thought that some people just come out of the womb with better genes for doing a handstand. And that's completely false. And I think we can all sometimes operate on these limiting beliefs when we think that we're just not the type of person that could do that thing. Maybe you think you're too tall for this, you're too overweight for this, I'm too inflexible, I'm just not strong enough. I had some of these limiting beliefs back when I started doing this journey, and what I've come to realize is that you get good at what you do every single day. And if there's something that you really, really want to pursue, then take the time, put the effort to it, and you'll get better. And eventually you'll be where you want to be. And speaking of taking the time to do it, I think that's one thing that we can't escape. You have to put the appropriate amount of time in to really attain something that is good and that is fulfilling to you. I mean, if I had it my way, I would have achieved this 5-year transformation in just 1 year. That's what my mind, that's what my ego would want. But when I really think about it and look back on all this, it would have been so much less rewarding. One of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is because I think the YouTube feed a lot of the times is filled up with learn this skill in 30 days, learn this skill in just 5 minutes. And I think to really properly do something, to take a journey to learn about yourself while pursuing something, you gotta put some years into what you're doing. Sure, if you can learn something quick, then more power to you. But if you're anything like me and not super gifted, then you literally just gotta keep showing up. And let's pause to celebrate my first Stalder press ever. What? Never thought I would have achieved that. So a really empowering part of the handstand is that you can literally train it anywhere. You guys see in this video, I'm all over the place, but still able to train my handstand. All I need is a open room or a park. There's absolutely no equipment involved. I've done handstands in some weird places, the middle of the road, stairwells, alleyways, anywhere that has some flat ground. It's all you need. It's just you and the ground. As you take a journey, it's inevitable that it will lead you to new places and new opportunities. As my handstand improved, I felt stronger in the shoulders. I felt improved posture. I felt more confidence and more free in my body than ever. And with that feeling of freedom and safety in my body, it allowed me to feel confident to explore a lot of different styles of training in the past few years. So as I watch these clips, something that really pops out to me is that I was never satisfied with where I was or where I am. Early on, I was always striving for a straighter handstand. I wanted a longer handstand. I needed to get the 60-second handstand. That turned into wanting a stronger press, wanting a more smooth cartwheel. I imagine that feeling of wanting more has actually led to some of the success I've had, but it can also lead to less enjoyment because there's always something next on the horizon. If I could give my past self some advice, it would be enjoy a little bit more, right? And appreciate that 10-second handstand before you decide that you have to go for the 30-second handstand. Celebrate the small wins. I imagine this could be the key to life. Balancing the ambition and discipline and the plans for tomorrow with just enjoying this present moment in what you have right now. Man, when I think back to that dude who was doing deadlifts, who just wanted to build muscle and look good, I can see how much my life has changed. I've had some big shifts. I've went through some big transformations, and the handstand has been a big catalyst for that. It's helped me find a bit more freedom in my life, and it's helped me determine what's actually important to me. And that's experience. And boy, let me tell you, I've had a lot of it in the last 5 years. And I plan to have a lot more in the next 5. Yo, guys, before we get out of here, I want to give you 3 tips on how you can improve your handstands as a beginner. This is really going to accelerate the growth that you can have, and you can start getting those little floats on your hands sooner rather than later. Okay, so number 1 is to spend more time doing handstands against a wall. Now, if you're anything like I am, you just want to go out there and you just want to kick up. But the thing about this is you're probably not going to be holding it for any longer than a second, maybe 2 seconds, and you're not going to be building up any strength in that inverted upside down position. You need your body to get used to this position. You need it to become stronger there, to find more stability there, to start to learn how to balance and just how to be upside down for longer. So whatever you do, don't be the guy who just kicks up, can't hold it anything for longer than a second. Get yourself on the wall and build up that proper strength. Tip number 2 is to push that ground harder than you think you can. It's really common when you start doing handstands to kind of sink into the shoulder. It gives you almost a greater sense of balance or stability. But really, if you want to be able to do a good handstand, then you have to just press as hard as you can into the ground and really get that shoulder elevated. This is going to help your strength in the handstand. It's going to help your alignment and your shape, right? If you don't want that dreaded banana handstand with the super extended lower back, then you really got to press that ground away. And for most of us, even when we think we're pressing hard, you could press a little bit harder, so do that. Number 3 is more frequency. When it comes to a skill like the handstand, your body has to learn it through repetition. So training the handstand more will greatly help you achieve it faster. This doesn't mean that you should be doing 2-hour sessions every day. Really, all it takes is 15 to 30 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week, getting on your hands, practicing balancing a bit, building up that strength on the wall. You will see results hopefully quickly. I can't guarantee it. You guys see, it took me 5 years. Guys, this was a really fun video to make. It was really nice to reflect on the last 5 years of what I've been up to. Seeing like this slow, steady progress over time, really a beautiful thing. I'd love to hear from you. Where are you at in your handstand journey? Are you thinking about getting started? Are you already started? Maybe you're not thinking about it, but I'd love to know what you think of my handstand journey. And if you're really a Strength Side fan, just comment that you can't wait for the 10-year handstand transformation video, because that's coming, baby. Hey, hit that like button. Subscribe to Strength Side. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? As always,